Hello! Finally! Sorry I'm late everyone. Here we are then. Straight into quali. You had it all going on today. Oh, stay up! My goodness. Hello Husky. Here we are then. Round 2, Electric Boogaloo. In the city of Baku. Oh yeah. Had it all this morning. Power cuts. YouTube not being cool. All of the above. So excuse my out of breathness. As why won't this tower app is awful. Need to get my bearings. Quiet on men. More sound volume, of course. Thank you. Hopefully that's loud enough and you can still hear me. Okay, relative it is then. Sorry about that, here we go. Thing with my mic. Sorry. Still trying to get my bearings after coming in. Milt is putting in 204s, which is kind of ridiculous. Yeah. Now we have Tiny Tower, because I accidentally alt-tabbed. That's brilliant. A little bit of a battle there as Milt goes a bit deep there into turn 4, turn 5. Get a rundown of the track in a second. Come on. Ugh. So yeah, sorry about being late and all. Being a bit out of sorts right now. Gone. What are you doing? Ben Stoffmeal with a 2:04.6 at provisional pole right now. Looks like we've got 12 minutes of qualifying left. Ultra fast track that is Baku. It's definitely going to throw up some challenges for the drivers here. Tight corners and blinding straights, and as we saw last week, the slipstream is just kind of insane. So that's definitely going to be coming into play today. Yeah, should be a wild race. I hope we don't regret not having a safety car today. Wonder if it will be needed. Just getting a good idea with Cookie in this QP car of just how long this straight is. A little late on the brakes there, but he's got that hooked up nicely. Follow around with Cookie for a little bit. Get an onboard lap, give you guys a good idea of what these drivers are up against this afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are. Just touching the limiter there, he's going to have to deal with that traffic ahead of him, very close to the wall, a little bit deep, but again gets it hooked up really nicely. Looks like some late rotation in this setup of the minimal setup changes that they can make. This is very tricky corner right here. Well done for the Gotifi car out in front to get out of the way. And then the dreaded castle section coming up here. This will definitely throw up a lot of drama today, I think. Threading it through on the curb. Really hard to get the power down early there, which is what you want because you have this mammoth straight with a faux corner in the middle. Don't even have to lift for. And then this is turn 15, a lot could go wrong here. Oh, just taps the wall there. That's going to lose him a chunk of time. I'm not sure if that invalidates the lap. But again, a little bit of understeer on the mid and entry to that corner. And here you just get to see how fast these corners come up to you. They are flat out, but they are really hard to get right and not career into the wall. And the top 7 cars right now all within about a second of each other, so it's gonna be close. Gonna be a close quali. Not sure if Cookie's up on his time yet. Didn't look like he improved, but Sench pushing himself up to P6, just 9/10 off the pace. As Frederick Schublem comes in right at the, as I said that, beats him out by just a couple hundredths of a second, so quali getting tighter and tighter still. Sench is going to have an epic slipstream coming down this straight. Definitely going to be helped along a little bit by that M Racing car. Both taking wide lines to avoid each other. A little bit of battling going on as they both reach the line. Sench won't improve, but as I said, oh, a little bit of contact there as they go in. That'll invalidate both their laps. We saw nothing. While things are just quieting down a little bit. Let's just check out a little bit of the track map for today, just so we can get an idea of what these guys are up against. 3 left-hand corners for the first three turns, all 90-degree corners, followed by a right-hander at turn 4. 5 and 6 faux chicane. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's going to be the castle section. We're going to see a lot of action around there. And 15 and 16 are the only really other actual corners on this track. So yeah, that's about it. Everybody who watches Formula 1 saw this track a couple weeks ago, so we're all pretty familiar with it, but I wanted to throw that up there in case there aren't anyone who's familiar with the craziness of Baku. A quick rundown, and we'll get a quick rundown of our championship standings so far. So leading championship standings gonna be Ivan Barats with the Indian bus drivers, who I think is not racing today. This will give you a good idea of who won last week's racing as well, because this is round 2, of course. Suicidal Cookie. Uh-oh. I've lost my tower. Where are you at? Goodness gracious. Oh, I don't want to exit. Yes. Oh, for crying out loud. Anyway, we'll get back to quali in just a second. There's your top 10. Here's your bottom 10. Automated Luxury in P11, Gons with the other Indian bus driver straight behind him. Sench with Bologna Racing down in 19th. I think that's surprising. I definitely think he'll be looking to improve. Team points, very, very close for the top 3. Just 3 points separating all of them. QP at the top right now. Indian bus drivers and BMW FP rounding out the top 3. Scuderia Snail, Bologna Racing, full steam for the top 6. And you can see the Penguin guys grouped together in 7 and 8. Oh yeah, should be a very interesting race today. I know all of these teams are gonna want to get as many points as possible coming into this next round. I do have to reload AC, it seems, so we will be right back. Alright, back again. There we go. So Massier has popped himself up onto the second row, or first row I should say, just half a tenth behind Senstoff Meal. You know, a couple 204s, which I was gonna say are definitely the quick times. Lots of traffic to deal with right now for everyone. Quite wild. Ed Castetta has appeared, it seems. This will be very interesting to witness. I think Massier's on his outlap right now. Let's see if Milk can improve on his time. Wild through the castle section there. Very, very wild. Looking pretty quick everyone is today. Like I said earlier, the top 7 now, or top 8 really, all within a second. As near as makes no difference. Oh, and you have to watch out for that curb at turn 15. It does like to throw you around if you do take it a bit aggressively. Probably the most aggressive curbing on this track. And I think we'll see maybe a couple of those spins there today, especially as we saw last week with the tyres dropping off so quickly. Definitely going to be a challenge for these drivers, especially if they're trying to battle for position through those corners. And it's looking like Milt still in P3, got this lap. Extra close to the wall there at turn 3. Coming into... oh sorry, that was turn 2. This is turn 3 coming up. We do only have 1 minute left in qualifying, so everybody now will be jonesing to get their last laps in. Again, really close to the exit there. Making the track as big as possible. Yeah, that is using the track to its maximum. You are absolutely right there. Nicely done through the left-right there. That's really hard to get right on a fast lap. up into the castle section. Let's just get an onboard view of this. Quick downshift, so close to that exit wall there on the right hand side. He's going to try and throw it in. You want to get on the power as early as possible, but without spinning the rears. A little bit of oversteer on the exit there. Doing a good job of keeping it all nice and tidy as he comes into turn 15. A little bit of a hop over there. Can anybody else make moves in this starting lineup, as qualifying has only 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1 left. Suicidal Cookie improves but does stay in P4. Aaron Fiedelack right behind him. Qualifying has ended. But this is Last Chance Saloon once again. See if we can get any last minute shake-ups like we did last week, or last fortnight I should say. Wow, Milt taking pole at the death with a 2:04.4. That's a blinding time. I don't even think we saw that time in practice, but I'm sure he's hopping up and down in his rig right now. That's great to see. Aaron Fiedelack, I'm not sure if he's on a valid lap right now. It looks like he may have not made it to the line as qualifying ended, but we will stay with him. See if yeah, Stoffmeal's right behind him. Oh, you can just hear him running on the curb of that exit there. Full throttle down towards turn 15. If he can get the braking right. Michael Randall making a move up into P7. That is Train Boy, I found out too. Nobody told me, but it is actually Train Boy. Not using a pseudonym anymore. Managed to dox himself, so now you all know. Frederick Shublum, I think, may have just made a move up. I think I saw that. See if Aaron is going to get any improvement on his qualifying time. That's just the thing with Formula Pals, we like to stretch out qualifying for as long as possible. There he is, down towards the line. Let's see if he improves and moves up. No, nothing. Maybe he wasn't on the valid lap. Looks like Ed is finishing up a lap as well. I'm expecting great things from Ed, the resident alien. I know he's got some insanely fast times in him, even if he has just jumped in for this week. Such a gargantuan straight here. Oh, into the pits for Ed. With style. So that's it. That is quali over. Milt on pole. I think he will definitely be into... He will, yeah, definitely be into starting on pole, as he did not start pole for round 1. Get a look at the new Spinardi car. Very nice. Another new livery for us this week would be the Scuderia Snail, guys. Whoops. Peak sponsorship. Rizzler, bread, convenience store, and good old tenants. Can't go wrong. Don't want that. Right. This will be quite special. Mill on pole for Formula Pals round 2 of season 3. That's quite a terrible camera angle. Would like to have this one, please. Yeah. Sorry, still a little bit flustered right now, but does look like we are going to get underway. There are the lights. And we're away. That's round 2 underway. Chaos at the back already. Milt flying into the lead at the beginning of this race. Everybody through cleanly at turn 1. Milt still leading after taking pole. Looks like Massier's made his way up the field a little bit. Suicidal Cookie still holding 4th very nicely. And we've got a little bit of a pack forming further behind as the top 2 cars start to pull away. Suicidal Cookie hard on the brakes. Got company right behind him. Frederick Schoblum's made some headway up into P8 it seems. So a lot of jostling just on the first couple of corners already, it seems. Back with Aaron now as he chases down Train Boy ahead of him. Big old train there of cars. Lots of little packs forming. Milt looking very comfortable up ahead, and this is definitely the section that we had to worry about. Let's see how turn 1 goes for everyone. We've got a big pack of cars heading up into there. Oh, and there's one of the Gotifi cars off into the castle section, a la Charles Leclerc, straight into the barriers. It looks like Robin Moe and Aaron were side to side for just a second there. As they head through turn 15, a little bit of contact from one of the sponge cars there as the Spinardi car holds the inside. Robin Moe going a little bit wide. That might trigger track limits for him. And now let the slipstream battle begin as Aaron is straight behind Robin Moe, and he does get the slingshot around the faux corner, and he'll make easy work of that. Another little battle going up ahead as Train Boy and Suicidal Cookie battling it out into turn 1. And side by side again, the cars behind them. Train Boy just edging out there. It looks like one of the full steam cars coming out of the pits. That's Trash Dameron. But Aaron still right on the back of Robin Moe there, as well as Cookie and Train still battling it out for P4. Too much to keep up on right now. But some good side-by-side action here as who's going to have the inside. Cookie will have the inside, but it won't have the inside for the next corner. Train Boy will have that, so quite smartly played by him, but it's all about the exit on this short run down to this left-hander. Still side-by-side they go. And now into the castle section. Lots of jostling, everybody fighting for every inch of track. And a huge send there from Robin Moe. He's going to slow up a lot of the guys there very late on the brakes, and that will allow Cookie just to run away. They're almost 3 wide into turn 9 there. There's a big shunt from behind. Everybody getting very argy-bargy through into the castle section. You see some front wing damage. I think that was on Train Boy's car. He will have, yeah, it looks like his front wing is drooping slightly to one side. He's got a throng of cars behind him to worry about with damage, so I don't envy him whatsoever. Little 3-car cavalcade here as the Spinardi goes very wide. And yeah, this is the only really tightly packed group right now, but Ed Costetta is going to join in on the fun. And I think everybody now is just going to want to stay in slipstream range. That's going to help them pull them along this massive straight as Train Boy there gets very, very argy-bargy down the straight. Aaron looking to hold his position down into turn 1. Holds the inside nicely there. Train Boy having lots of problems. Oh, as that's was that Ed Costetta, or oh, Dion has hit the barrier on the exit of turn 1. That's gonna dump him down a couple of positions. As Train Boy really starting to struggle now with the handling of that car. An up ahead battle for the lead, it seems like, as Sen Stoffmeal and Massier, both of the BMW cars, harassing Milt there. I'm sure these guys are talking to each other, trying to figure out how best to do it. Milt going down the inside, not having the inside for the next corner, but may be able to carry more momentum. Looks like he got a slightly better exit. And all three of these cars are all battling for the lead, but I'm sure the two BMW cars will not want to get in each other's way. Can Milt squeeze up the inside into the castle section? No, he doesn't. They all make it through. These cars are so close together now. This is insane. And it's all about the exit here. As we'll jump on board with Massier as he's rounding his way down to turn 15. Is he going to have a look? No, he's going to play that safe. I think this is a really hard place to overtake. And these guys just won't let up, it seems. Stoffmeal getting a little bit of entry oversteer there. And let the slipstream battle commence once again. Looks like Massier a little closer to Milt than Milt is to that lead car. And the BMW making its way alongside Milt as they do head down to turn 1. Still yet to cross the line. Milt going outside, which is very interesting. Oh, so close to that wall there that could have had a repeat of Dion's meeting with Barry R. There's Massier will take the inside. That's a good move there into turn 2. Manages to get it stopped just before he makes contact with the wall on the outside. And another slipstream run down to turn 3, another left-hander. Massier holding the inside, making himself as wide as possible. Into the first right-hander, so that's Milt down in P3. And Ed Costeta's made his way back up into P7. There you go, that's the one I want. Is it? I think I want this one. Automated luxury into the pits, whether that's a green flag pit stop for him or a scheduled pit stop. Oh, it looks like he's gone. That's a shame. Ooh, that is a shame indeed. As we'll hop back on with Ed. As one of the Bologna cars is around, that's Sench, I believe, again having troubles as his teammate will go past and to chase down Ed Costeta. But Ed right on the back of Trainboy here as they head through turn 15, and I'm sure he'll want to try and stay behind as much as possible in order to get that slipstream down the main straight. You see the damage on Trainboy's front wing there. They're getting kind of all out of shape, it seems. I wonder if he'll opt for any repairs during the pit stop. But here we see Ed chasing down the back of Trainboy down the Mammoth Straight through 18 and 19. They've gone. A little bit of weaving from Trainboy, but he will pull to the side. Ed will have the outside for turn 1 and clears him really easily, actually, before turn 1. Up going to chase cam. Oh, these guys are so close to each other. Oh, and Trainboy trying to even out his wing, maybe, on the other side of the on the exit wall of the track. But Ed Costeta up into P6. He'll leave Trainboy behind. I think Trainboy is going to struggle a lot with his top end speed with that broken aero. Here's Dion defending from Nathaniel Foltz-Rochelo. Crime just behind him and Gon's just behind him. So we've got another little train of cars just here, all battling it out. Looks like the two teammates, Crime and Gons, with the Indian bus drivers. Gonna help each other out, maybe. Nathaniel getting a much better exit, and he'll have the inside there in the little chicane. down into the castle section. A lot of power oversteer from the Indian bus driver car there. That's a cool shot as we see the Gotifi car go the opposite way. Following along with Gons now. Taking it nice and easy through the castle section, because as long as he stays relatively close, he'll just have the slipstream to catch back up. Maybe a bit of contact there from Crime on the wall, as like Gons is going to have an inside run down to turn 15. Will they battle or will they let it go? Looks like Gons will take that. A bit of contact with the wall. That's okay. And I'm sure they'll pull each other along with the slipstream. Meanwhile, back up the front, Marcier still P2 with Senstoff, Meal still in P1, and Milt rounding out the top 3. All these guys all within about 1.5 seconds of each other, but these guys are still putting in the fastest laps of the race so far. Crime and Gons at it again. Down into turn 1. A lot of cars there, as that's Dion there ahead of them with some big damage. Again, that's going to really oh, Stoffmeal's off. I wish we had a replay. I would love to have seen what happened there, but it looks like he's had a spin somewhere, maybe caught the wall at some point, but demoting himself out of the podium spots even, and letting Suicidal Cookie run into P3 with a nice gap behind him. Robin Moe is caught onto the back of Stoffmeal. Mill into the pits right now with 33 minutes left to go, so I do wonder if the tyres just go super quickly here with a full load of fuel. I'm wondering if we'll see any two-stop strategies today. The leader was off. It was. Oh, Aaron disconnected, it seems. And maybe that's what happened with Automated Luxury as well. Both these guys now heading down the main straight through 18 and 19. Close enough to get the slipstream. There you go, that's what I wanted. Maybe not close enough, it seems. Crime looks like he's off. Looks like he's maybe had some big damage as he's crawling into the pits and falling down the order. Back up with this battle for P3 as Robin Moe has a little look on the inside, a little late on the brakes it seems, and narrowly avoids a collision there, but that will allow Stoffmeal to run away. I think he may have got ahead at turn 1. Crime into the pits. It seems like he will opt to take a bit of damage, or yeah, repair a little bit of damage, try and get some of his pace back. It looks like we're getting a lot of pit stops right now, either for damage or for tires. So I would not be surprised to see some two stops, given that we're only a third of the way through the race at this point in time. Yeah, looks like Martin, Dion, Sench all in the pits. And one of the Gotifi cars, that's the guy that hit the wall on the first lap. Up into P9 with that early pit stop, so that may work out for him, it may not. But we'll hop back up with this loose battle for P3, as it looks like Robin Moe has fallen behind just a little bit. Robin Moe having that really hard time with his tyres last outing in Istanbul Park. So again, another driver wanting some form of redemption, it seems, on this second round. And yeah, it looks like he's just bleeding time very, very slowly to Stoffmeal, as he'll be too far away to get any sort of aero advantage from slipstream. Your current leader, Marcier, with the BMW team. Suicidal Cookie not too far behind, lapping about half a second off of Marcier's pace. So at this rate, we could see Marcier start to run away with things. He's got a nice little buffer between him and the car behind. And now with pit stops, the order is going to be a bit very, very jumbled up. But it being Baku, track position will be everything. Around about 1.4 seconds the gap from Robin Moe to Staff Meal in P3. Looks like with some traffic behind them, I think that might be Dion. It is. There's some back markers in the way here. I wonder, I'm not sure. Oh, he will be on a blue flag, so I'm wondering if we'll see that. If he's pulling to the inside, but I wonder if Robin Moe's having trouble just keeping up. Dion very wide there into the wall, and it looks like a little further back. Oh, maybe not. Just timing tower being weird again. Sponge 46 into the pit again, so he will fall down the order, as I'm sure Milt will catch up to him very soon. There you go. So Sponge making his second pit stop of the race, and Milt falling down the order at the beginning of the race. Back into P3, now into P9 with a lot of clear air ahead of him, so I'm sure he's going to want to get the hammer down and get into a rhythm as soon as possible. A little further back, another loose battle for P10 with Sponge behind the other Spinardi car. Cursed livery. Absolutely cursed. It's like some side pod damage, as well as a little bit of front end damage as Robin Moe puts himself into the pits. For his pit stop, this was more of the time I kind of expected to see the pit stops happen. Around 25 minutes left. That will put Ed Castetta up into P4, which is seriously impressive. We wouldn't really have it any other way from Ed. But yeah, doing really well. I'm not sure if he's made a stop yet, but with 5 seconds to the car behind him, again a nice little gap. And it looks like a back marker for Ed to chase down and try and get some slipstream down the main straight. Just a couple seconds up the road. And Cookie going backwards through the castle section. He's got to watch out on the rejoin. That's Ed going through, I think. Just about, that's right. That's Ed now up into P3, so it looks like Cookie may have lost it into the castle section. And you can just see now a little bit of damage on the front wing of, oh sorry, the rear wing of the car, Suicidal Cookie. The head through turn 15. I wonder if Cookie will be into the pits to fix that, or if he'll just say sod it and go. But he'll desperately want to keep up with Ed and get the toe down the straight. But being 6/10 behind, I'm not sure if he's quite close enough. Maybe close enough just to get a little closer into turn 1. Seeing as they have almost 2 kilometers to deal with. Yeah, Ed into the pits it seems for his pit stop, and that will allow Cookie back up into P3. Crazy, we've had podium fighters being changed all the way around, all through this race it seems. Rainboy getting ahead of Ed Castetta, but still 5 seconds behind James Andrews. You do see him just at the end of the road there. And Faltz Rochelo also into the pit. Robin Moe up into P6. And I'm sure Robin Moe will want to get a little higher in the standings. Just maybe. Could happen. There is an actual battle here for P11. We've got Frederick Shublum and the Scuderia Snail car really close. Oh, and the bump bit hard there as he just powered over the curb and it sent the rear of the car around. That will allow Sponge to have some leeway of his own down the straight. And Shublum's going to have to make up that time all over again. He's in a really awkward position for the rejoin. Sench up into P12. Oh, as that's one of the BMW cars. That's the leader, that's Marcier. Round at the final actual corner. Again, another really, really difficult place to stop. As I'm sure Cookie now will probably see him around the corner. There he is. Cheers for that, mate. Marcier, a lot of work to do. That's the leader going around. That's 3 times now we've seen the lead change hands due to mistakes of their own volition. And just as, yeah, Mr. President says, it's a survival, not a sprint. Marcier into the pits. You probably will need new tyres after spinning around like that. But that's Cookie into the pits as well. So we've got a pit stop battle. And we'll have to see if anything comes of it. And James Andrews up into P2, so the Bologna car getting a podium potentially today, depending on pit stops. And just going around. Marcier in the pits, Robin Moe will take P4. Ed Costetta's cleared them as well. And then we see Marcier coming out. Will he make it ahead of Ed? Side by side into turn 1, and that's a bit of a argy-bargy elbows out moment. And Ed will slot in behind Marcier, but I'm sure he's willing to take it, seeing as the slipstream is so powerful here. It looks like Cookie's made it out a little bit behind Marcier, maybe electing to fix some damage. But a back marker right behind Cookie, as we'll jump back up with Ed as he's going down, still behind to the left-right into the castle section behind Marcier. And I wonder if he'll just hold off and wait for the run down to turn 15 or even the run down to the start-finish line just to get more slipstream. I think everybody's kind of figured out just how good it is here, so being more patient here can really net you more dividends on the straights. So we're seeing this race kind of settle down a little bit, but if the first 25 minutes are anything to go by, anything can happen. Ed now's going to look to get a really good exit out of this actual last corner, as he's almost a second behind Marcier, and he'll want to close that gap up quite sharpish. Looks like Sponge may have had a little bit of an off there. Stoff Meal into the pits, putting James Andrews up into the lead of the race. That's another new, unique leader of this race, as I don't think Ed is quite close enough to make a difference. Down the straight, a couple hundredths, maybe half a tenth gained. But with James Andrews in the lead, I'm pretty sure he still has to pit, so that might put Train up into the lead of the race, and we'll get another new unique leader, as he's not too far behind James actually, still nursing that damage quite well. Looks like some other people may have elected to fix their damage while Train has decided not to. Meanwhile, back with Frederick Shublum, battle for P12, these guys running out of the castle section and down towards turn 15. Where will Shublum look? Will he look inside got caught out on the bump the last time around, so I'm sure he'll want to kind of avoid that as Sponge maybe overslowing just a little bit through that corner. But I think, like I've said earlier, I think Shublum's quite happy to wait, as a lot of power oversteer there from the Gotifi car, and that will let Shublum clear that Gotifi car before they've even made it through the final corner. And a big gap already, 7 tenths, 8 tenths now between these two cars. Frederick Shublum doing a great job of capitalizing on other people's errors. Nice work. Back up ahead with the other full steam car. Looks like Train might just be reining in James Andrews ever so slightly per lap. And he has gone into the pit, so another new leader of this race. Train Boy takes first place. I'm pretty sure he has to pit. You can actually see pit stops. So yeah, no stops for Randall. Actually the last person to stop. We've seen Trash Dameron, Alex Mohajeri and Gonz stop twice. Whether that was damage or tyres, I'm not sure, as Train clips the inside of the wall there. That's quite difficult to do. And Senstoff Meal is right behind now. And I'm sure he'll be looking to catch up as quickly as possible. I'm sure Senstoff Meal knows that Train Boy's yet to pit. But we could see a battle anyway, because it's fun. And that's what we're here for. Another leader off. No one is safe in this race. You got that right. Yeah, Senstoff Meal's taken about almost 2.5 seconds out of Train Boy this last lap and a half or so. But I'm sure we'll see him catch up. Very aggressive over the curb from both drivers. See just the flick of corrective lock as Stoffmeal heads over the turn 15 curb. Yeah, 6 tenths behind Train Boy, so I'm sure he'll get some form of slip. I would not be surprised to see Train Boy head into the pits unless he's trying a zero stop strategy, which would be very interesting. Maybe not viable because these tyres do drop off so insane. It's like a knife edge. Milt's back into the pits again, and we see the other one of the Gotifi cars head into the pits. Then Stoffmeal looks up the inside, and I don't think Train's going to fight it too hard, but he'll get ahead anyway. This is some good racing as these guys are side by side into turn 2. Then Stoffmeal just opting to tuck in behind and get the better exit. And these guys really giving each other a wide space. There we go, it looks like Senstoff Meal has taken the lead of the race. They head into turn 3, and he'll have the inside quite nicely there. There you go. Good battle, some good battling from these two, even though I don't think it's technically for position, because I would be very, very surprised to see Train Boy not pit. Especially with that damage. But, you know, he does have 8 seconds behind him to play around with. But he's losing so much time because of that damaged front end. As they start to catch up to the back markers now. Through the castle section. Down towards turn 15. Yeah, Train Boy's dropping off, which should allow Robin Moe to catch up quite nicely to him. Robin Moe only 8.7 seconds down the road from Train Boy, so not an insurmountable amount of time to make up. Nicely done over the curb there. There's no P14 on the tower. I guess that's what happens when somebody leaves. Milt's screen froze. Oh no! In the mud. Under the water. Oh my goodness. So more drama without even being on the track. Milt is out of this race. That's honestly a pretty disappointing first 2 rounds for the reigning champion. Washed? Potentially. Maybe. But not probable. I don't think he's washed. It's the dark side of sim racing rearing its ugly head. It happens to the best of us. As we see some shots being fired in the chat between Mr. President and Milt. Sounds like a normal Sunday to me, but oh well. As we've got a lot, we've got a lot of space between all of the cars right now. It seems this race truly settling down as these guys kind of wind down the last 14 minutes or so of this race. Your running order then for now: Stoffmeal in P1. That's going to be a great start to the season for the BMW guys. Already second or so in the standings as a team, and Stoffmeal particularly high up in the driver's standings. So a very fruitious race for him, it seems, as he gets a little bit loose through the middle of that corner. But as I said before, anything can happen. I think tyres are going to drop off quite heavily between now and the final lap of the race, as Shublum is in the pits once again. P2 still Michael Randall, now dropped 3 seconds. He's dropped 3 seconds behind Stoffmeal. He goes into the pits for his first pit stop of the race. That will most likely promote Robin Moe into second place. Ed will probably get up into P4 as well. Yeah. So a really great drive from Ed as he puts himself up into P4. And not too far behind Massier. 16 seconds, which for Ed is not huge. I should say 6 seconds. Again, not a huge amount of time to make up. The Cookie getting ahead of Train Boy as he's just out of the pits now. Does well to not surf the curb in the middle. If you do that, that's it. Car is ultra messed up. But Cookie now getting really close to James Andrews as one of the Indian bus driver cars splits them. I think that might be... It's either Crime or Gons, duh. But maybe the Indian bus drivers giving the QP car a little bit of a tow in order to catch up James. So James will want to get 100% pace down right now to get a gap, a big gap in between him and Cookie. Every single point counts. And with QP at the top of the table by just 1 point, Cookie will want to move up as the Indian bus driver's car graciously moves out the way. I think that was Crime moving out of the way and allowing Cookie onto the back of James Andrews. 1.6 seconds the gap between these two cars. And with 10 minutes to go, anything can happen once again. I'll just pop up to the battle for P2 as Massier is now only a second behind Robin Moe. Spinardi driver doing really well. But Massier lapping over a second faster that last lap than Robin Moe. I'm sure Robin will be watching his mirrors with great intent, trying to keep that BMW car behind him. And yeah, Cookie also lapping 0.8 faster than James Andrews on that previous lap, so we may still see some more shuffling of the table yet. On board now with Massier as they head into the right-hander of turn 4. Yeah, I would agree with that, Mr. President. The BMW cars do have a fair amount of control on this race, but seen a little bit less consistency from them this week than last week, I would say. And with the tyres dropping off, oh, as the Spinardi car makes a little bit of contact there from the outside wall at the castle. And a good exit there from both of them. I think Massier is going to want to hold position behind Robin Moe and get unleashed onto the straight, or will we see a move into turn 15? Don't think he's quite fast enough, or quite close enough to do that. A little wiggle of the hips there as he's back on the power. And this will be an interesting run down to the final little chicane onto the final straight. These guys super close to each other, and I think that's why he's waiting until you've cleared the chicane to make the move. Both of them now screaming towards turn 1. Very close together. The Spinardi car trying to hold the inside. Darting out to the outside. Will he have more speed? He does. He does get there ahead of the BMW car, but that will allow him right onto the back into turn 3. It looks like the BMW carried a lot of momentum into that corner, and he'll get a really good run down into the left-hander. Choosing to go outside this time. Both side by side on the brakes, turning in synchronized. That was beautiful to watch. And Massier makes the move stick. Too much power on the exit though, and the rear steps out, and that will allow Robin Moe ahead into the left-hander. He'll have the inside, but not for the right-hander. Good racing from these guys as they are very close together into the castle section. Excellent. Oh, a bit more power oversteer from the BMW car. Seems to be a trait of the setup. Maybe both of them wall riding up the hill towards the castle. And a little bit of a shuffle at the front end there, it seemed, from the BMW. He's going to lose a lot of time, it seems. He'll have to do that work all over again. But thankfully, coming towards the end of the lap, it's not the worst place to lose time, especially with this monster straight coming up. And already Massier killing 5/10 off of Moe's time, which makes me think Moe may be struggling with damage as we head into the final 6.5 minutes of the timer on this race. And I'm sure we'll see another move here into turn 1. Not quite close enough, it seems. A little bit further back. Suicidal Cookie now only a second off of James Andrews. I'm sure we'll see another battle for P5 pop up momentarily. Back for the battle for P2. Massier was right on the rear bumper of Robin Moe there. These guys still battling it out. P2 would be a very, very good finish for Baku for either of these drivers, especially Robin Moe having doing not as well as he wanted last time out. Very close to each other there as they're through the left-right. And they'll scream now down towards, oh, the actual left-right. Sorry, my bad. It's really hard to know where you are on this corner because the first sector of this track is all 90-degree corners. These guys almost nose to bumper going into the castle section. close to each other now as they're unleashed down towards turn 15. I wonder if Mercier will have a look up the inside. He does seem to have a pretty quick car down the straights. As long as he gets those exits right, he is looking up the inside, chooses not to. That would have been a good move to see down there into that tight off-camber left-hander. These guys really close to each other now, and I'm sure Mercier might just be running out of patience. He'll want to get up into P2 and get a BMW 1-2, which would be very, very, very impressive to see. Around the outside, choosing to go the long way once again. He is ahead, but will he be able to hold it? I wonder. Very close to each other there. Robin Moe diving to the outside. Mercier holding the inside, but gonna have to deal with Robin Moe right behind him, right on the gearbox. And he's made the move stick, finally. But with such a long run down to turn 3, it's not over yet. Mercier looking to the outside, sorry, inside. Robin Moe looks to the outside. Is he going to have more momentum? A little bit of a flick of the rear end there. Robin Moe has a look, decides against it, and we'll have this nice big long-ish run. Stop! Don't want chase cam. Great battle we're seeing here, as it looks like James Andrews may have made a pit stop somewhere. Yeah, it looks like James may have pitted and has come out behind Suicidal Cookie. But that'll push Cookie up into P5, Ed Castetter in P4. Robin Moe will just want to hang on the back of Mercier, maybe round out the podium. James Andrews there getting passed by Train Boy, like on the run down to the castle section. There's quite a big gaggle of cars. Maybe James Andrews suffering from some damage. It's that Indian bus driver's car, both of them right behind him, harassing him wildly. We catch up with the other Bologna car. Looks like he may have just passed Martin there. Look at the angle on that wing, that doesn't seem right to me. But Sench now up into P9. Got back with James Andrews. Yeah, I think he's got some damage. Yeah, he's it looks like he's in pit lane there. But maybe it was a spin. Oh goodness, that's not the place you want to be. That is not the place you want to be. As looks like we got a battle here for P11. That's Dion and Frederick Shublum going at it into turn 1. Maybe a slipstream battle there as Dion just falls behind Frederick Shublum. And they go into turn 2. Shublum comfortably ahead at this point. Very, very, very squirrely on the exit from Dion there. Leading time is he from Frederick Shublum. Again, another damaged front wing as James Andrews is into the pits for his damage repair, I'm sure, as looks like his teammate will overtake him while he does so. Everybody has got some form of damage, it seems. Nobody's getting away cleanly today. It's just as I expected, but we didn't need a safety car. I mean, it could still happen, but we didn't need a safety car today, so I can bite my words from earlier. As, yeah, Robin Moe now just falling kind of out of slipstream range from Mercier, so it does look like it's going to be a BMW 1-2, as this will probably be the final lap, heading into the final lap with only 20 seconds left. I can't remember what it is. It's either 2 laps or 1 lap. It should be 1 lap, but sometimes it does 2. I don't know why. But a fairly dominant display from Senstoff Meal and Massier, both the BMW cars. As James Andrews maybe slipping up there or just coming out of the pits, it seems. Yep. He's made his pit stop, fallen down into P12. Robin Moe is lapping about 7/10 off of Massier's pace. They're bleeding a lot of time, but I don't think there's enough time left in the race where he has to worry about losing that final podium spot. So yeah, it's looking like a BMW 1-2. Maybe we can get those guys in here together, shorten the interview phase just a little bit, as James Andrews maybe still bleeding time, or just, yeah, it's just Tower being weird again. Thank you, Tower, very cool. Everybody now really settling down, as I'm sure they are breathing deep sighs of relief as this race is coming to a close. And here, Senstoff Meal rounds the final actual corner. Doing very nicely there, keeping it all together as he heads down the fast left, fast right. Could still lose it there, as we've seen. The tyres could still fail, so I just wanted to see. And there it is, potentially, unless there's one more lap. But your winner for round 2 is Senstoff Meal with BMW FP, taking maximum points. This is final lap. Okay, so he's got 14 seconds to lose. Massier rounding out top 2. Robin Moe 2.5 seconds behind him. I think top 3 is pretty much all spoken for, as long as these guys can keep it together on their final lap. Big gaps now between all of the cars. As we are halfway through this actual final lap. Where's the sound? It's weird. I guess sound doesn't exist in Assetto Corsa anymore. I can't hear it, at least. That was weird. Very strange audio bug, maybe? There's the two Indian bus drivers. They looks like they're gonna finish the race together, which is super cool to see. P15 for Crime, P17 for Gons. As Senstoff Meal goes over the bumpy turn 15 for the final time today. I mean it this time. And I'm sure both of these drivers will be delighted with a 1-2 team finish, taking a very, very comfortable lead in the Constructors' Championship, and I think probably the Drivers' Championship for Stoff Meal as well. Just getting a nice little weave on. Please don't lose it, even though you have 15 seconds. Hugging the pit wall in celebration as he crosses the line and takes the win of round 2 of Formula Pals. Congrats to Stoff Meal, as his teammate now also crosses the line in similar fashion. What was that down there? I'm not quite sure, but looks like some antics. And let the burnouts commence as Robin Moe finishes P3. Ed Castetter coming across the line to finish P4, a great drive for him. Suicidal Cookie just crossing the line to get to P5. Ugh. That'll do. Brain Boy finishing P6, a good finish for him. Frederick Shublum looking like he's finishing in P10, a top 10 finish for him, is very respectable. Nathaniel Foltz Rochelo looks like he's going to come across the line. Go. P7 for him, P8 for Sench, so a little bit of a better outing for him than last time out. Dion finishing P11, Trash Dameron in P12. James Andrews slipping down to P13. That's gonna take a ding into Bologna's points as there he goes across the line to finish up his race. That was pretty wild. That went pretty much about how I expected it to. No safety car needed, which was very nice to see, but I would say probably the same amount of damage that I was expecting, seeing as this track is so tight and these cars are so precise. I would be willing to wager that... Oops. Be willing to wager that everybody's... That's a gracious way to cross the line there. I'd be willing to wager that everybody's had a pretty fun time trying to navigate this track. I know I had some fun. Getting some practice laps in. Just getting into 205s was a challenge, to say the most. See if we can't get anybody in here for some interviews. People posting their tire wear at the end in the chat. 12% on the left rear for some drivers. That's insane.
Hello.
Hello, Robin. How are you? Is that Robin? That's weird. My computer's just not having it today. Hello. That's odd. Hello, Robin.
Hey.
How you doing? I don't think he can hear me for some reason. Discord's being weird, so why don't we just skip the interviews today? Let these go. No. Discord being difficult and making me seem very unprofessional. Anyway, a good race, a great race for the BMW team there as they round out the 1-2. Gotifi Cast finishing in style, indeed that was. I can't wait to see how this makes the tables look, especially the Drivers' Championship. I know it's going to be pretty close, but we still have 4 rounds left. So we will see you in 2 weeks' time for the next round at Bahrain. An equally challenging track, but I think it will be nice to have some racing on an actual track rather than a street circuit. Maybe give the walls a break for a second, if you get my drift. But please do join us starting tomorrow over on the Racing Pals Discord server, where you can find the link for that in the description somewhere. But can join us for season 1 of our new Dirt Rally Championship, where you'll have a whole week to do 3 stages over a month. Come and join us for that. I'll put the link in the description below if you're watching this back. Come and hang out and get slideways. But thank you for everyone for watching. Thank you for being patient with me as I sort myself out. As I said, I've had it all today, so yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in to Formula Pals Championship. See you in 2 weeks for round 3 at Bahrain. Bye!